everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're actually going to go ahead and review my top 10 spring fragrances from the designer side for the year of 2019. Now, yes, this video is a little bit later than I normally do it. I usually do it on the 1 month kind of thing before the solstice, before spring actually begins. But this time it's been pretty cold here in New York City, and I thought it would be better to kind of wait just so I can feel it out, and as it kind of gets closer to actual spring, that I could be a little bit more clear on what I wanted to wear kind of going into the season. So that's why this is delayed. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. But there is like 1 or 2 things that I want to mention. First, this is my list, nobody else's list. I'm creating this list because this is what I am going to be wearing in the spring. So it's not necessarily something that I'm recommending for you guys, but I will tell you the reasons why I have chosen these fragrances to go ahead and wear. 2, these fragrances, yes, they're a bit on the old school side. I've been around in the community for a while. I found a lot of good fragrances that I like. I haven't really found anything that supplants a lot of these fragrances. So that's just a key things to keep in mind. And also one more addition, and I usually cover this. This spring fragrances that I look for, what I look for in a spring fragrance, I'm looking for fragrances that do well in a good temperature, such as like 70 degrees Fahrenheit to like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Fragrances that really epitomize kind of, the return of warm weather, joy, jubilance. That's kind of what I'm feeling. But at the same time, I want some fragrances to kind of hold the fort down for some of the days that are still a little bit cold. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Fragrance number 10 on my list is a fragrance that was on my previous list. It is a clone of another fragrance. We're looking at Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is a clone of Creed Aventus. Aventus, my stocks of Aventus have been dwindling at this point, and so I have been looking to this one to hold it up. Pineapple, it's got this fresh kind of apple type of a smell. It's got birch, this birch woody type of a smell, and it just does really well. Very long lasting, good performing, great, excellent fragrance that I like to reach for when I really can't think of anything else to wear. I just throw this one on, almost like a default, almost signature scent. So fantastic fragrance at number 10, Club de Nuit Intense. Fragrance number 9 is a fragrance that I gave away on my wedding to my guests. This one is Mugler Cologne. I bought a whole bunch of these, put them in little vials, or vials. Not sure how to pronounce that. Either way, I put them in containers and gave them away to guests that came to our wedding. And, they loved it. They thought it was a great idea. I love this one because it's a clean, a kind of well put together fragrance. And this is one of my workhorse fragrances when I wear to work or wear going to work. It's inoffensive. It's not going to offend anyone. You're going to smell great. And at the same time, it's kind of got this professional air to it. So it couples really well with my, I guess you could say, the aura that I like to put out at work. All right, Mugler Cologne. Now, fragrance number 8 is a fragrance that has been in my collection for quite a long time, and it was probably, I would consider, one of my gateway fragrances. It is Allure Homme Sport from the house of Chanel. Now, Allure Homme Sport has a very distinct kind of like creamy smell or creamy feel in the background of this fragrance. It's a fresh, it's a sporty fragrance. It's a fragrance that I like to wear when I'm a little bit more active. It's not quite as warm. It's not quite as cold. It's kind of in between. That's where I really like to wear this fragrance. And the reason why I wanted to bring this one out is I have so many fond memories of wearing this fragrance. I even remember when I got this fragrance. This fragrance was something that I had seen so many people in the community talk about, and they had referred to it as Allure Homme Sport or something like that. And so I ended up getting this fragrance. I was so pleased with this fragrance and still have it in my collection. It is a gem, and it is one that I am definitely going to wear in this season. Fragrance on the number 7 on the list is from the house of Mugler. The fragrance we're talking about is Crypto Mint. Crypto Mint has a minty, it's a minty take originally on Angel Men, which is a chocolatey fragrance that kind of has this patchouli vibe that goes along. Chocolate and patchouli are really the 2 things that come to mind with this fragrance, but you add a little bit of mint into it and you get Crypto Mint. Crypto Mint has a refreshing feel to it. It's not too heavy. It still is a fragrance that I would more wear when it's a little bit colder, but at the same time, you won't get into too much trouble if you wear this one as it starts to warm up a little bit more. This is a fragrance that I like to wear in the nighttime during spring, and that's really where I'll be wearing this fragrance during those times. So Crypto Mint is coming in. Fragrance number 6 is a little bit of an oddball. It's from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. The fragrance is called L'Homme. L'Homme is a fragrance that normally I would not wear to work, but I ended up wearing it to work like 2 or 3 times, and each time that I wore it to work, I got a ton of compliments with people wanting to know what it was that I was wearing, where could I get it. It's on the stronger side, I'll give you that, so be careful. If you've come across somebody who does not like this smell, you may cause a little problems, but at the same time, I've gotten nothing but glowing reviews with this fragrance, and I like to wear this one. Consequently, I like to wear this one to work occasionally. I'll throw it on, but more often than not, I like to wear this one at nighttime. I don't get actually as many compliments as I do at night, as opposed to when I wear this one at day or during the day to work. All right, L'Homme. Fragrance number 5 on my list is a fragrance that I traditionally, at least, wear for interviews, but I found myself and thinking about wearing this fragrance since I have a lot of upcoming, I guess you could say, high profile meetings that I have for work. And that is number one from the house of Strelsin. Now, this one is very clean. It's a vetiver based fragrance. It's very light. Sometimes if you spray it on and you're a little too light, people might not even know that you're wearing a fragrance. But I tend to go a little bit heavier on this, knowing the fact that people are not going to be offended by the scent. It's very clean, very well put together, very professional, and thus I like to wear this one to meetings, with VPs, with the higher ups in the community or in my company. And so I like to put this one on and make sure that I'm smelling right and at the same time not offending anyone. All right, number 1 from the house of Strelsin. Fragrance number 4 on the list is another carryover actually from the winter. I've decided I'm going to wear this one in the spring too as well. We're looking at, from the house of Dior, Aqua Fahrenheit. This has been a very pleasant surprise. For those of you who don't know, I initially didn't like the original Fahrenheit. I thought that it was too petroleum-y, but the original Fahrenheit grew on me and it became one of my favorite fragrances. And now Aqua Fahrenheit is in the mix, and it is a lighter, more aquatic, if you will, version of Fahrenheit, which does really well in springtime weather, in warm weather, in weather where, it's I guess you could say a little bit, it almost feels like a juxtaposition. It does really well in cold weather as well as warm weather, and for some reason it just really fits the occasion. I like throwing this one on. I've been getting a little liberal with it, and I want to continue wearing it going into the spring. I wear this one casually, and that's the major points where I wear this one. All right, so Aqua Fahrenheit from Dior. Number 3 is from the house of Hermès. The fragrance is Un Jardin Sérénil. Now, this one, it's like you're walking through a garden. It's very green, very almost vegetable-y, which sounds really weird, but it really works. Another great casual fragrance that I like to wear. I alternate with this one, sometimes to work, sometimes casually, just going out. Either way, it's really a great solid choice, and it really does remind me of spring. There's only like 2 other fragrances that more remind me of spring outside of this, Green Irish Tweed being one of them, and I'm forgetting the other one right now. But either way, fantastic spring fragrance. Can't recommend it enough. Un Jardin Sérénil. Number 2 on this list is from the house of Chanel. It is a mainstay in my collection, Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Can't talk enough about this one. Creamy fragrance, bright, uplifting, spritzy, fantastic fragrance. Now there is another version that has come out of Allure Homme Edition Blanche. I have not tried that fragrance. I have no desire to, just because I have this one. There is no need for me to go through it. Now that said, I have kind of been trying to look through the bottle to see if I could, or shine it up against the light to see how much I have left, because I have used this one liberally over the years. It doesn't feel like it's too gone, but I don't ever want to run out of this one fragrance, so I might have to actually go searching around, give the new one a try. If it's not up to snuff, I may have to see if I can get a vintage version of this one just as a backup. It has been my number 1 fragrance for many years, and it's only until recent years where I found another fragrance as well too, where it's kind of waned, but such a solid Edition Blanche for the spring. And finally, my number 1 fragrance for the spring designer side of 2019, Terre de Hermès, the fresh version, the fresh one. White cap top, fantastic fragrance. Some people say that it smells like bug spray. I do see where they're coming from. I don't get that. I get a fresh, uplifting version of the Terre de Hermes scent, which is, ooh, just absolutely fantastic. It's got this earthy, ozonic type of a feel that feels light, it feels effervescent, it feels just absolutely uplifting to go ahead and wear. It's always such a joy for me to wear this. I'm so glad I bought the big bottle. As you can see, I've already made quite a dent in this bottle, even despite the fact that I've got so many other fragrances that I wear all the time. Love this one so much, and I will be wearing this one heavily. All occasions, bar, you know, going out. Sometimes I'll wear it to work, but I like to wear my work fragrances a little bit more for this one. But yeah, fantastic fragrance at number 1, the fresh version of Terre de Hermes. So guys, that pretty much sums up my list for fragrances for the designer side for the spring of 2019. Let me know what you guys are picking and what you guys are wearing for this. I'm always curious to see some of the new fragrances that people may be wearing, and you know, I may take a look at that and see if I can, you know, pilfer some and see if they'll knock off some of my fragrances off my list. That's pretty much it. All right. Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.